Canto 9. On seeing him return from that shut gate, so absolutely did my courage fail, I knew my face was turning deathly pale. My guide restrained his pallor at the sight, and as no eye could see through the gray mists, he stood awhile, intently listening. And thus I overheard him murmuring, "We'll win through this somehow, I've no doubt, unless but help is being sent. I wonder when." These words were meant to save me from distress, but only made me worry even more. To change the subject, this is what I said. "Master and guide, has anyone before left Limbo to explore as deep as this?" "I did," said he, "when civil war split Rome, well over 13 centuries ago. The witch, Etritho, keen to know who'd win, forced me by spells too sinful to repeat, straight down to Satan's lowest seat in hell. We used to call him Demogorgon then. He said Caesar would gain the victory. This downward path is therefore known to me, though barred to you by hell's hostility. We need that gate. On every other side the wall stands sheer above the muddy tide of wrathful souls, so we must wait for aid. Some new things frighten you?" I pointed to where, upon the iron battlements of Dis, three blood-stained female figures had appeared, bat-winged and belted with green snakes, their hair writhing with smaller snakes. All glared at me so fiercely that I clung to my guide, who said, "These are the Furies, torturers of the most guilty souls. She on the left is Megira, wailing to the far right Alecto, with Tisiphone between. Tearing their breasts, with talons eagle-like, they yelled, 'Medusa, come! Change him to stone!' "'Turn round!' my guide cried. 'Don't look! Shut eyes tight! Cover your face! Gorgon Medusa's glare can petrify you here, so use both hands!' Ensuring these commands, he swung me around, pressed my hands to my eyes with both of his hands. Some intellects should find a lesson there. But then a mighty thunderclap rang out, a crash advancing through the muggy fen, and like a tornado, smashing down great trees, and driving out dust, beasts, and fleeing men. My guide then freed my eyes and said, 'Look hard at who is coming down where the fog's most thick.' As snakes spreads panic through the pond of frogs, who dive deep into the mud, the wrathful souls sank from the path of the one who, dry-shod, strode across the foggy marsh of their abode, fanning the fumes away before his face, an almost absent-minded exercise, because his thoughts seemed in another place. This was my helper. Unsure what to do, I watched my guide who bowed. So I did too. The helper from on high seems not to see. He passed us, touched the gate, which opened wide. To demon janitors cowering inside, he, standing on the threshold, cried aloud in great ecstasy of indignation, 'You stupid, wretched, miserable crew, still rebels to he who created you, know again that insubordination can alter nothing that is willed on high, and only multiplies your woe. Goodbye.' He then went back across the filthy bog, without a word to me, who, fearless now, followed my leader through the gates of Dis. None stopped us as we passed that stronghold's towers, and walked into a land of different pain. By Rhone our less, Pola in Italy are graveyards, where the ancient plundered tombs gape at the sky, with slabs once shutting them lying close by. So was the plain of Dis. Except for this, each tomb was spouting flame, being a furnace hotter than a forge, and from which, also, dreadful outcries came. My guide said to me, 'See the doom of heretics and of their followers. For every tomb has room for many more than you see, each heated to a different degree, according to the error's magnitude.' So there we stood, between high battlements, and all the flaming graveyard's punishments."